day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Friday, November 20. The Bank of Jamaica BOJ has been implementing a number of initiatives to ensure stability of the country's financial sector and mitigate the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. Governor Richard Biles says the central bank provided $76 billion of liquidity support to the local currency between March and October. This represented 4% of gross domestic product.
These include a special bond buying program, a reduction in the cash reserve requirement, and special bond repurchase facilities.
In addition, more than $1 billion in liquidity support was provided to ensure the continued smooth functioning of the foreign exchange market.
We introduced foreign exchange swaps. We conducted several B-Fix-It intervention sales. We directly sold foreign exchange to major players in the energy sector. We reduced the foreign currency cash reserve requirement, and we provided US dollar bond repurchase facilities to those who required it.
Mr. Biles was speaking at the BOJ's quarterly press briefing yesterday. He said the bank also offered US dollar indexed bonds to investors seeking a hedge against exchange rate movements. According to Governor Biles, the central bank's combined liquidity support in Jamaican and US dollars is substantial and unprecedented and equivalent to more than 11% of GDP. Government has so far set aside $2.3 billion to start addressing the $5.4 billion of damage done to the island's roads during recent weather events. $1.3 million has been allocated to clear and repair 206 corridors. The rest has been distributed among members of Parliament to address constituency roads and drains. On Tuesday, Prime Minister Andrew Holness informed Parliament that the National Works Agency had cleared all but 4 corridors across the island. Among them, Thompson Town to Victoria Road in Clarendon, which will have to be reconstructed. Meanwhile, an alternative route for the Gordontown Road breakaway is 3 weeks away from being opened, and engineering solutions to control rivers in St. Andrew and St. Thomas are being finalized. As he gave the update on road conditions, the Prime Minister again stressed the need for a more uniformed approach to land settlements across the island.
Our settlement policy has to be far more aligned to our budget, to our ability to maintain our infrastructure.
28 top-performing students in the 2020 Primary Exit Profile, PEP, have received educational grants from the Universal Service Fund, USF, to cover their secondary school expenses. A boy and a girl from each parish were awarded $40,000 in a ceremony on Tuesday. Additionally, the USF's Program of Advancement through Health and Education, PATH Scholarship, was awarded to Chantel Williams to cover her tertiary studies in Information and Communications Technology at Church Teachers College. Minister of Science, Energy and Technology, Darrell Vaz, congratulated the recipients and encouraged them to set goals for themselves and to never be afraid of failure, which he said was what fueled success.
Your work has proven that you are capable and you have the potential and the ability to change not just your life, but also to help transform this nation. I urge you to use these scholarships as a launching pad to pursue your dreams and advance the welfare of this country.
Minister Vaz lauded the USF on the work it had been doing, added that he was heartened by initiatives that invest in the education of the nation's children. The National Solid Waste Management Authority, NSWMA, is putting measures in place to ensure that the nation is clean and garbage-free during the upcoming Christmas period. NSWMA's Executive Director Audley Gordon says based on research during previous Yuletide seasons, a strategy is being implemented to cover areas which usually pose a challenge.
We have already started to look at our extended opening hours at the disposal site. We start looking at where we can add additional trips. We know the areas that usually give us the challenges. The market districts, for example.
Mr. Gordon made the statements on Wednesday at the launch of the authority's Drum at the Gate initiative. 80 garbage drums were distributed to residents of Greenvale in Manchester under the project, which is being executed island-wide. Mr. Gordon says the Drum at the Gate project is necessary to improve a number of factors, such as the turnaround time for the collection of solid waste.
The stress that it put on our crew when they have to come and clean up instead of just taking up a drum, emptying it and moving. We want to move from your gate as quickly as possible.
The drums were donated by the Grace Kennedy Group and EdgeChem. Jamaicans working in the merchant shipping industry will soon see improved conditions after the House of Representatives passed the Shipping Amendment Act earlier this week. Transport Minister Robert Montague says it aims to make more complete provisions for the living and working conditions and the rights of seafarers in line with the Maritime Labour Convention of 2006.
This progressive and groundbreaking legislation needs no debating in my estimation. It is a necessity, especially given the realities that we are currently facing in light of the presence of the coronavirus. This piece of legislation will enable Jamaica as an active member of the international community and a leader in the maritime industry to meet and honor our obligations under the Maritime Convention and give effect to our decision so to do.
Minister Montague says the bill provides for a change in the minimum working age for seafarers working on board ships from 16 to 18 years. It also covers the provision of free water for workers and making ship owners liable for medical care, burial expenses, and the health protection of all seafarers working on board ships. The bill also introduces requirements for Jamaican ships of 500 gross tonnage or over to have a current maritime labor certificate and a declaration of maritime labor compliance. And finally, Agriculture Minister Floyd Green has announced that a new board of the Sugar Industry Authority (SIA) is expected to be appointed before the month end. According to Minister Green, the role of the authority in the new phase of sugar will be the utilization of more science and technology to propel the sugar industry forward. The strategy being proposed by the government is the enlisting of new entrepreneurs with innovative ideas who will be able to resurrect the sector and diversify the production of products that can be obtained from sugarcane. The Agriculture Minister says government stands ready to facilitate a private sector-led industry which can stand on its own without government intervention. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.